And joining me now from Nairobi is academic researcher and analyst Nicodemus Minde. Thanks very much for joining us here on TRT World. Now, as we saw in Shoaib Hassan's report, many Kenyans are frustrated with where the country is headed towards. The country is going through multiple crises. There have been shifts in alliances. Tell me, what does the new government, which will be formed hopefully in the next few days, need to do in order to mitigate all these crises?
One of the things that has actually emerged from this election is it has exposed the polarization of the country. The country is heavily polarized in terms of ethnicity, and you have just spoken about these shifting alliances, and these alliances are largely ethnic alliances. And as the standstill continues, because the announcement has not been done yet by the electoral body, you find that the country is heavily polarized. There's a lot of tensions. So in the event, they announce and the winner accepts the results, then the winner has a big job in terms of bridging this polarization and bridging the divide that has oftentimes been associated with Kenyan politics.
Right. Now, we are waiting for the results to be announced in the next few days. If I'm not mistaken, our correspondent in Nairobi told me that the results should be announced in the next 2 days. So let's see whether or not that happens. Now, you mentioned the winner accepting the results. Let me ask you about the loser here then. If one of the candidates, of course, one of them is going to lose the election, right? Is it likely for them to not concede defeat?
Well, of course, all the candidates promised to accept the results no matter the outcome. But based on the previous elections, the past two elections, and it is seemingly looking very likely that the one who comes second will challenge the elections. And of course, Kenya has this mechanism of challenging the elections results at the Supreme Court. So it's looking likely that the loser will actually, take the matter to the Supreme Court for, to hear if they actually really lost fair and square. Because previously, before the 2013, the country got into electoral violence, post-election violence, in which we saw over 1,300 people dead, displacement, and all that. But now, because there's there's a judiciary and a clear-cut judicial process where they can seek remedies. So I think the loser, if he's not satisfied with the results, will actually seek judicial mechanisms, and this is at the Supreme Court of Kenya.
Okay, now let's do some speculation here for a moment. Now, as of the latest lines that we know, Raila Odinga has a slight lead over his competitor. Assuming Raila Odinga comes into power, does he have the capacity and the support from within the country to end the polarization?
In all honesty, Raila's presidency seems to be one that will bridge historical imbalances of the country in terms of ethnic politics. In the past 50 or 60 years, only two communities have actually led the country. And of course, these two communities are represented in the other alliance that is led by William Ruto. So in all honesty, if you look at the balance of play, in terms of political balance of play, Raila Odinga presidency seems to might actually bridge these historical imbalances in terms of ethnicity. So in terms of bridging the country and bringing the country more together, and the fact that also he's also receiving support from the outgoing president, then it seems that his presidency could be more reconciliatory as opposed maybe to what our Ruto presidency would otherwise have done.
Right. Nicodemus Minde, thanks very much for talking to us here on TRT World.
Thank you.